Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the introduction to chess basics, and we're going to be looking at how the board is set up and how the pieces move. First, let's take a look at the board. Okay, so a standard chessboard is an 8x8 grid of alternating dark and light squares. And to make sure the board is positioned correctly so that each player has a white square on their bottom right corner. So here there's a white square here, and there's a white square here. So now let's set up the pieces. Each player starts with 16 pieces. 1 king, 1 queen, 2 rooks, 2 knights, 2 bishops, and 8 pawns. The back row is lined with rooks in the corner. We have knights right next to them, bishops right next to them, and now here there's 2 remaining spots. So the queen will be placed on her matching color. So the white queen will be placed on the white square and the black queen will be placed on the black square. And now the remaining spot goes to the king, which will be placed right next to the queen. And now the front row is all for pawns. So all 8 pawns will be placed in the front row, and they kind of act as the defense for all pieces. Okay, so now it's time to understand how these pieces move. So obviously the queen is the most powerful piece on the board, and it can move any number of squares vertically, diagonally, or horizontally. The rook moves any number of squares along rows or columns, so vertically or horizontally. The bishop moves diagonally any number of squares. Now the knight moves in an L shape, so 2 squares in one direction and then 1 square perpendicular. And now the knight has a unique ability where it can kind of jump over pieces, so the pawns in front of it don't really affect its movement. Now pawns move forward 1 square, but on their first move, they have the option to move forward 2 squares, and pawns capture other pieces diagonally. Finally, the king moves 1 square in any direction. And the objective of the game is to checkmate the opponent's king, which means putting it in a position where it cannot escape capture. And that was a sneak peek into the next lesson. In the next lesson, we'll be looking at check and checkmate. Until then, familiarize yourself with this, and I'll see you in the next lesson.